Good afternoon, LBBP 501 and 502, reporting, informing from the greatest spot in the world, Palm Branch Beachfront. Exciting. We're at Mars Avenue right now, and we just wanted to send a message out. We hope everyone is healthy, happy, and spending quality time at home with their families. At this point, where we're at is we are getting ready to open. When? That's not our call, but we're going to be ready whenever that green light goes. And when I say ready, we're talking about we're making sure we've already ordered all our equipment, our flags, our kayaks, our turps, our any equipment we need for stands. We also have ordered our uniforms for the lifeguards and are excited about that. Order is in and completed, so that's something that has already been done. Working on the other stuff now. One of the pieces is making sure the personnel is ready. A piece of that is you guys turning in all your paperwork, which many of you have done. That paperwork is in the process of being processed, so whenever our start date comes, we're able to punch in it and work. That's something that is we're in great shape. The other component is what we're looking at doing to make sure you're safe once you come and step onto the beach and are working with us. 502 is going to go over some stuff that we have in the works that we've been able to get done already. Thank you.
Obviously, with this crisis going on, safety is our number one priority. And when we talk about safety, we're not just talking about our beach patrons, but we're talking about our staff and our lifeguards. So on top of social distancing and recommended CDC requirements, we are going to be giving out buffs, which are facial coverage and also UV protection to all of our lifeguards. It's going to be custom designed just for our staff, so we'll be following the CDC facial requirement. And on top of that, when we do make patient contact or have to speak to the public in a close area, we will be wearing N95 masks. Over 2,000 N95 masks have been ordered from the city for just lifeguards. We've also ordered gowns, eye protection, and other safety equipment for each shed and each lifeguard. We're also in the process of getting orders for hand sanitizers, dispensers for each shed. Going forward, as well as the CPR refreshers and continuing first aid training. Unlike previous years where we've been able to do this in person, this year we're going to have to do it virtually, or a large portion of it virtually. Most of you have already received emails from me or seen in the group chat. We are doing CPR refreshers virtually, including a small section towards the end of May, which will be in person, just practicing skills. The second class that we're going to have to do majority online, virtually, is going to be the emergency medical responder class. And that is a mixture of first aid, CPR, and patient interaction and skills with assessment.
That gives us an opportunity to enhance our certification with the United States Lifeguard Association, correct?
Yes, so we'll no longer just be a nationally recognized USLA agency, will be nationally recognized advanced agency, which right now would be the third agency on the East Coast to hold that.
And with what we're talking about with the CPR, so we're going to do, there's a couple different components, right? We're going to do some refresher classes for everybody.
Yes.
Recertification of the CPR, we have about 50 or so that have to do that.
Yes.
And that's going on now?
Yes, so a good portion of our lifeguard staff has already completed this. So I think we're at 25 lifeguards have already completed their refresher course for their recert for this year. Once we get closer to summer and we'll integrate it into our daily training, our returning lifeguards that aren't recertifying this year will also conduct some recertification training just to get their continuing education up.
And on top of that comes the EMR.
Yes.
Correct.
So an EMR is a level between an EMT and basic first aid. This level doesn't just include, basic CPR, choking victims, as well as infant CPR, and basic first aid, which is splinting an arm, packing a wound, putting a Band-Aid on, some things like that, but also including how to take a blood pressure, how to do a patient assessment, how to gain enough information to figure out basic issues going on with someone. If it's a medical emergency, if it's a traumatic incident, gaining enough information to give the EMTs on staff here and the EMTs and other emergency responders coming to the scene better information, which makes us better lifeguards and better prepared for treating
Good.
patients.
Perfect. And now we also want to talk a little bit about the pay.
Yes. So as you guys know, I've been in contact with all of our staff about the pay increase for 2020 season. Obviously, this is mostly due towards the increase in minimum wage. We were able to secure a great starting rate, which is across the board with most of the Monmouth County beaches, as well as increasing rate with all of our senior staff. Most of you know your new starting rate. That is unchanged due to any of this crisis going on right now. None of that is being changed. If you do have an issue or you have a question about it or do not know your starting rate or your new rate for the 2020 season, please contact me and I'll get it to you immediately.
We also wanted to talk a little bit about positions, with sergeants and lieutenants, if we have.
So again, as I've been in contact with you guys, we are still going through our staff and figuring out who's coming back full-time, part-time, especially with this crisis. There are a lot of lifeguards that don't have internships now or staying the summer that weren't planning on staying the summer. Once we have that figured out, there are definitely going to be open positions. Plus, we also are opening a new beach. Once I have that information, I'll be sending out to you guys. I know I've just got a couple responses back of interest. I will respond to you. We'll set up a little interview, and we'll go from there.
Junior guards. Talk a little bit about junior guards. Right now, we're in a hold pattern for the junior guard program. That is going to be something that we discuss with City Hall, and pretty much it'll be universal with the beachfronts. So that's something that it's kind of an afterthought right now. I think all the attention and all the focus is strictly on, when we can start, the possibility of starting, and that's something that will come, and that's a need-to-know basis. As soon as we know, we'll let you guys know as well. So that's something that's coming down the line.
Last thing that I have to touch on is swim tests. I know I've been contacting you guys about Neptune Pool not opening. It is not going to open in the foreseeable future. We've talked to the USLA as well as other neighboring agencies of how we're going to conduct these research. We were told we are allowed to conduct them in the middle of the season, so we do not have to have our reoccurring swim tests before work. So our returning staff will be completing their swim tests probably towards the end of June when the water warms up a little bit. All new hire staff will be conducting their swim tests during Rookie Academy before they sit on a lifeguard stand. Anything about that?
No, that was good. We're excited about our rookies this year. We got a great class coming in. It's a smaller class, and we're seeing how the summer goes. But we've got some great applicants too that we're have the opportunity to pick up along the way. So that's something that that'll be done. With the, one of the things we talked about in our meeting last year was, we don't do average. So make sure you guys can see after this, informational piece that we're ready. And if we're not ready, we're getting ready. So make sure you're doing the same physically and mentally. Mentally making sure that you do all the work that Chris is asking you to do with the CPR certifications. Physically, whether it's yoga, running, biking, calisthenics, those things will get you in shape. You need to still, when you come here, whenever that date is, you need to be in shape. And, you should be ready for Memorial Day weekend. Whether we're open or not, I don't know. But you don't say, we'll see, we'll wait, we'll hang out. Don't get it. You should be doing things right now. You should be getting out, you should be working out and getting after it. Doing your social distancing, doing it by yourself, but do it and make sure you're physically as well as mentally prepared when we start. Anything else, Chris?
I think that's it. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy. Hope to see you soon.
We're closing this up. We're ending this meeting from Morris Avenue, Billy Bailey's old spot, new spot. I know he's down in the Carolinas, but we're excited. As you can see, there's some people out here today. It says it's 60, but the southeast is kicked in, so it's not 60 down here. Thank you guys for your time and your attention.